And that's the vision of Multipure. To improve the quality of our lives around the world, one glass of water at a time, one person at a time. Thank you so much.
Matigas. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Nakita niyo naman yung Multipure. Multipure, plug mo na lang maigi. That is one of the best in the world. And lagi nga sinasabi namin pag may multi-view challenge, nahihirapan talunin because of the three certification ng independent body, yung NSF, National Sanitation Foundation. Now, andyan din yung medyo big box, so big business. So, medyo malaki ang kitaan doon. Now, but I'm here more to introduce our guest speaker. Guest speaker na to, nakasama ko doon, 2004 pa. Siya ng legal panel ni Brother Eddie Villanueva, 2004 campaign. Now, our speaker is presently designated as OIC of the IPO or Intellectual Property Office or IPOFIL. Bago lang, January 1st, 2020. Hopefully, baka maging permanente yung appointment niya. So he is concurrently the Deputy Director or DDG for Management Services, External Relations, and Policy of IPOFIL. As Deputy Director General, he oversees the Documentation, Information, and Technology Transfer Bureau or Innovation Bureau, Bureau of Copyright and other related rights, Financial Management and Admin Services Management, Information Service, and Office for Strategy Management. And he's also responsible for policy formulation, international relations, bilateral and multilateral agreements, and free trade negotiations, among others. Additionally, he's in charge of the Intellectual Property Rights Enforcement Office. Kanya kasama siyang, pwede siyang mag-rate, yung mga fake. So, he would be a great help, and he's a Christian also. A very, very dedicated Christian. So, our guest speaker was previously Undersecretary of the Consumer Protection Group of DTI from August 2016 to January 2018. So, very recently lang. Masyado siyang naging popular noon kasi every Saturday, consumer at iba pa sa DCMM. Kaya medyo sumikat, medyo sumisikat kasi maraming naiingit ka na. So, ayaw niya ng low profile kanya. Okay, ba't lang? As a Christian, so he's an epitome of humility. Then he was formerly Deputy Director General for Technical Education and Skills Development Operation of the TESDA. Okay, from August 2010 to July 2016. Kanya pagdating sa employment or ibang mga other tawag dito, mga vocational. So, siya yung nasa forefront to generate employment. And that's why, in-invite ko siya, very eager because Legande is basically to generate a lot of employment and income generation. He also served as a legal assistant in the Bureau of Employment Services of the Department of Labor and Employment in 1981. Maganda nun 1981, parang founding ng aking isang company, RFJ Company. 39 years na. He had been involved in the legal matters of several private entities like the City Land Development Corporation, where he served as legal counsel, and so on and so forth. So, Attorney Pascua completed his Bachelor of Arts from the University of the Philippines, so UP, in 1978, and elected to the Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi. He finished his Bachelor of Laws from UP College of Law in 1982 and passed the bar in 1983. He just wanted to be known as a dedicated Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, our speaker, Attorney Teodoro F. Pascua. Can you give him a round of applause?
gabi po sa inyo lahat. Let me do my own plugging. If you've seen the President, is very young, very strong, energetic. I think one of the reasons is he takes his products seriously. I knew him several years ago when this product line was also launched. I think that was in 2018. And that was in Marriott Hotel. And so I know he's taking, if not all, but yung life, what's that? Yeah. Aside from water. Anyway. I was requested to share with you, but ang concentration sana ay entrepreneurs. Who are entrepreneurs here? Yeah, most of you guys, unless you are employed like me in government, ang isang kaibahan natin, one of the things actually sinasabi nila, one of the things that differ us from our Chinese neighbor, China, sila tinuturuan habang bata not to become an employee, but to start something. Tayo basically, I know that since we were young, the concept is to be employed, not to be an entrepreneur. On the long run, as time went on, even when we were lawyers, best thing to do is not to put up your own law office, but go to the big law offices and get employed. You will see the big difference when most of the people of a giant country like China ends up becoming very, very prosperous because they were, most of them, who are entrepreneurs. Tayo naman, we'd rather become safe player, employed, di ba? Hindi pinag-iisipan kung magkikita ba bukas o hindi, kung hindi employment. And at times, sabi nga nila, government is the biggest employer. Kaya, just recently, the President signed another law that increased in 3 or 4 or 5 branches the salaries. Kaya, mostly, I noticed when I entered government in 2010 up to the current year, many employees of government, their children also get into government. Safe player. I think we should change our attitude and practically go for entrepreneurial. I was looking at some of the products outside and I was inquisitive as to the source. Kaya lang, siguro, part of it, I will talk with management. On the whole, having been with DTI, leading the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights, sabi nga nito, ng re-raid, actually, that's a little bit more abrasive word, especially for those who purvey counterfeits. Marami naman dyan, alam na natin kung saan. Yung pupunta dito ang balikbayan, bago umalis, pwede mo ba akong dalhin dyan sa bandang ingredients yun? It's a little bit complex. I hope all of us will pay attention to this aspect, which I'll be sharing with you. I come from the Intellectual Property Office. Most of you will say, saan ba yun? Ano ba yun? It used to be when it was one of the oldest branches of government or agencies. It used to be known as the Bureau of Patent. Nag-start pa yan after World War II. So it's an old office.